Hello and welcome back to TheReasonSolutions. This is episode 5. I know, seems like we've been doing this for a little bit now. Today's conversation, what are childhood memories, elected officials, and summertime? At first glance, you think they have nothing in common. One takes us back to where we've been. One helps us determine what's happening around us right now. And one helps prepare our children for where they're going next. When you look at a little deeper, all three are really about influences, the experiences that shaped us, the leaders who make decisions that affect us, and the opportunities we create for our next generation. Because whether we're talking about the past, the present, or the future, one question remains the same. Who's helping shape the lives we live and the communities we're building? Today, we are taking a trip down memory lane, just thinking about it, testing how well we know the people who represent us, exploring whether the academic summer slide is a fact or fiction. 3 points of view, one conversation. Let's reason together. Point of view number 1, the top 5 things I would bring back from my childhood, or not really my childhood, but when I was younger. And it could be childhood. It could be a combination of when I had less gray hair. A lot less gray hair. Sometimes life moves so fast that we forget how simple and how good some things used to be. So here's my top 5. I'll go from 5 to 1 in the order that they came to me. Number 5, The Cosby Show. Not just because that fly shirt that Theo made, but it showed family. It showed the African-American family on TV, growing, learning, and professionals as parents. And at that time, growing up, I didn't know how impressionable that was on me, because I wasn't used to seeing that on TV, an image of something that looked like me. And it was funny. It was really funny. The Cosby Show was really funny. In living color. There's so many famous people came through that show. It was smart, edgy. You really laughed. You didn't chuckle. Homie, don't play that. You laughed. You laughed. Number 3, you gotta be a little older. You gotta be at least late 40s to know this in age. Rock'em, sock'em, robots. Grew up in the 80s, you already know. 2 robots, 1 ring, 1 goal. Knock your opponent's head off before they knock your head off. Simple, competitive, hours of entertainment. Basic. Number 2. That was number 3. Number 2 is biscuits. No restaurant, no bakery, no fancy recipe. Nothing beats my mom's biscuits. I couldn't wait. I smell them in the oven cooking. And number 1, I still kick it with a couple of these guys, but chilling at the Platte with my squad and then going bowling afterwards. We had a good time. We would just go hang out at the Platte. And if you know West Philadelphia, born and raised, the Plateau, we would hang. There'd be a lot of people hanging, having a good time. No drama, no beefs, no extra, no Tony Tough guys. Just out there having a good time. And then we would go bowling and hang out. We'd had a good time. No smartphones, no social media, just chilling with your squad. Now, those are my top 5. I won't press you to get 5 off the top of your dome. Think about one thing you would bring back. If you could bring one thing back, what would it be for you? Point of view number 2, politics. Can you name your state representative, your state senator, your governor, or your mayor? One of the goals of the Reason Solution podcast is to make complicated topics easier to understand. So let's start with a quick challenge. Without looking it up, put your phone down. Don't get on the internet. Can you name your state representative, your state senator, your governor, and your mayor? Give you a second to drop that in the comments. Come on, chat. Put it in there so we can see. And make sure when you put them, you put what state you live in. So me, I'm Pennsylvania. My city is Philadelphia. Philly is where I am from. So that would be my representatives. Many people can name celebrities, athletes, and influencers, but the people making decisions that affect our schools, roads, taxes, and neighborhoods can't name them as much. Let's change that. Every person listening right now has multiple elected officials representing them. The question is, who are they and what exactly do they do? U.S. representative. Think of your U.S. representative as your community voice in Washington, D.C. They serve 2-year terms. They represent a specific district. A part of the 435 members House of Representatives. They bring local concerns to Congress: schools, jobs, transportation, community safety, federal funding. These are all issues they can influence for their state in D.C. U.S. Senator. Every state has 2 U.S. Senators, regardless of population. They serve a 6-year term, vote on major national legislation, confirm presidential appointments, approve treaties and major federal decisions. Representatives focus on districts. Senators focus on the entire state. Again, representative districts, senators, the entire state. Governors lead the state government. They influence state budgets, educational policies, transportation, public safety, state agencies. And if you've been listening to the podcast, you already know that many decisions affecting schools happen at the state level. Mayor, city council, and school board. This is government closest to home. Decisions made here often affect your daily life the most. Mayors oversee the city services. City council create local laws and budgets. School boards help shape educational priorities and policies. These are the people whose decisions you often see firsthand. What's one issue affecting your neighborhood, school, or community right now? Drop it in the comments. Currently in my city, we have a PICO strike. And do you know which elected official has the power to help address it? So it's not just knowing what the issue is. Who do you go to? Because knowledge is important, but participation creates change. So yes, I know it, but now what do I do about it? What's one action you'll take this week? This one, where you learn who represents you, attend a meeting, send an email, make a phone call, start a conversation. Because understanding the problem is only part of the solution. Taking action is where change begins. Knowledge is power. I tell my students that all the time, and I get that from Schoolhouse Rock too. But participation is transformative. Too often we know more than we do. So once we get the knowledge, what we're going to do with it, share that functions. And share it in a casual way where you're not beating somebody over the head or what they don't know. Point of view 3. Summer, summer, summertime. Summertime. Education. Did the academic summer slide real? Do kids get on in the summer and they just slide down academically and lose everything? Before we start this conversation, what I want for my parents, adults, even if there's any youth that's listening to this podcast, which I hope I'm touching that generation too, drop your favorite summer camp, library program, community center, museum, or enrichment opportunities that you either send your kids to or you've gone to or you're in the comments, so I can compile them, put them together, and send them out so people can have resources. Make sure, again, you drop your cities or states, because when we send that information out, people don't want to be researching and they're in the wrong state. They're not going to drive a different state to join a program unless you're in this tri-state area where I'm at. Then you can do that because states are connected. What if the biggest threat to your child's success this summer isn't what they forgot, it's what they stopped doing? Here's the reality. Summer learning loss isn't just about forgetting math, facts, or vocabulary words. It's about missing opportunities to read, think, explore, create, and grow. The students who return to school ready to thrive aren't always the ones sitting in the classroom all summer. They're often the students who continue learning through books, conversations, experiences, and everyday life. What the research says, students who don't read regularly during the summer are more likely to experience declines in reading achievement. The good news, just 20 to 30 minutes of reading every other day, if you want to be aggressive daily, can make meaningful difference. And fun reading, something they want to read. Math tends to be more vulnerable during the summer months. Without practice, students can lose ground in key skills. But math is everywhere because we live in a math world. If you're cooking, or you're shopping, or you're budgeting, and playing video games, they're traveling, playing sports. Everyday life can become a math lesson. The long-term impact. Researchers have found that small losses over several summers can add up over time. So they lose a little bit, then a little bit, and next thing you know, you're struggling. That's why summer engagement matters. Not because children need school all summer, but because learning works best when it stays active. What successful summer learning looks like. Students often maintain or improve when they read regularly, participate in camps and summer programs, visit libraries and museums, explore hobbies and interests, have meaningful family conversations, experience real-world learning opportunities. What parents can do. Keep it simple. It doesn't have to be complicated. Read daily. Practice problem solving. Visit the library. Encourage writing. Maintain routines. Limit passive screen time. Increase active learning. And remember, summer doesn't have to look like school. It shouldn't look like school. But learning should never completely stop. The biggest summer slide isn't forgetting everything. is missing the opportunity to keep growing. So here's today's final question. What opportunities are we creating today that will help our children succeed tomorrow? Today, we talked about childhood memories, understanding the people who represent us, and helping our children stay engaged during the summer months. If you enjoyed this conversation, hit a like, share. If you think you missed some of the information, go back and listen to it again so you can drop comments. And also, all of my episodes kind of tie together as far as on the education and the politics. So if you say, well, what does he mean by this? You might have to go back to a previous episode to understand what I meant. That being said, have a great day. Peace.